Bobby.
Bobby's the one who kind of marches to his own drummer.
Can you draw the family tree, please?
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Draw my life.
Let's take a look. First question. First off, I thought you did a pretty good job as a whole on the quiz. Not just because there were multiple hundreds, but also because the mistakes that were made are pretty easy to correct. So even if you didn't get the questions right, you're thinking in the right ballpark. So by tomorrow, or Monday, Tuesday, because Monday's a Monday, you should have 100 on the quiz. So listen, here's the deal. It says to set up a, very important to learn to read questions. It says to set up an inequality. Hint, hint, Mr. Dessing, an equal sign is not an inequality.
Yeah,
All right? Just saying. It's $5.25 a trip plus $45, and you want to know when is that going to be greater than 108, not greater than or equal to. Just greater than 108, because you're going to pay more. More is greater. And then this is solved. That was pretty easy for everybody. And it's greater than or equal to 12. We all good? Okay. Now, this guy here, the answer has to be 11. Because if you do 12 trips, they're equal. This wants to know what's the most you could take and still pay less. So it's 11. And your explanation should be something along those lines. That 12 would be equal, so 11 is the most you can do without. And this one here, as a whole, we did pretty good. This is a W for the width. That's the length. But don't forget there are two other sides. And I know at least one or two people just wrote 3W minus 1. It's not. It's 6W minus 2 because of the other two sides. I did this very quickly. I didn't show all the work, but I think you can figure out that it's 7, and then you plug the 7 back in. 2 times 7 is 14, minus 1 is 13. All right? Any questions? Okay. So we said that on today's Do It, we want to skip the first question because I don't know why I put a question with factoring in there, but I did. So I just done screwed up. All right. Rearranging similar formulas or familiar formulas. This is kind of like a review thing when we solved literal equations way back when. Okay. Now, dun, 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 dun. The area of a rectangle is 25 square inches. The formula for area is A equals LW. If the width is 10 inches, what's the length? So if A equals LW, then it says A is 25. That's going to equal L times 10. You could write 10L, that's fine. But L times 10 is good. I divide by 10. And what do I get, everybody?
2.5.
2.5, good. If the width is 15 inches, what is the length? So this would be 25 equals L times 15. I divide by 15, that's an L. And this works out to be 5/3 or 1.6 repeating. Now it says to rearrange the formula to solve for L. And all I do is divide both sides by W. You know how to do this, die. So now I have a new formula that says the length is the area divided by the width. And then it says, so show that the area, or verify it, in the original area formula. So let's do it for this one, ready? If I do 25 divided by 10, I get 2.5. This answer matched that answer. So therefore, we know that the formula works, whether I do it algebraically and divide, or rewrite the formula and substitute. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
AJ?
Why did you skip the second?
I didn't skip the second one. It's right here, 5/3, or 1.6 repeated. Okay. So, circle all the ordered pairs that are solutions to the equation. If something is a solution to the equation, it checks in the equation. So your job now is to check each of those points in the equation, see if they check. If they check, it is a solution, like the infinite ones in math land. And if it doesn't check, it is not a solution. Go ahead. In fact, you could just check the top row. You don't have to do all of it, just top row. You guys keep making me lose weight. So I can go through here. minute or so.
Only the top row, right?
Yep, just the top row. For the ones who have a notion deep inside, that it ain't no sin to be glad you're alive. That's where I stop my scene. The next line was, I wanna find one face that ain't looking for me. I wanna find one place I wanna spill in the face of these badlands. So, I left that part.
I should do that.
All right, so let's take a look at the first one there. Ready? Does 3-2 work?
Yes.
Yes. Does 2-3 work?
No.
Does -1, -14 work?
Yes.
Does 0-0 work?
No.
That's my favorite because it's so easy to check. What about 1, -6?
Yes.
All right, so there we go. If it checks, it works. If it doesn't, then it is not on the line. That's how I decided it. Okay, so now we go to the next part. And the next part says, what happens if you need to solve simultaneously? Now, some of you may be fast becoming graphing junkies. You love to graph. You love setting up coordinate axes. You love rearranging to get in terms of the variable y. You love finding the y-intercept and then moving according to the slope. And if you like to do all of that work, God bless you. I'll do it. I don't necessarily like it. So, mathematicians are two things. Mathematicians are brilliant and lazy. I'm not mean. I'm like a gentle teddy bear. How could you possibly say I'm mean?
Not you, just other one.
Oh, the other ones.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell Miss Antonacci you said that.
Not her.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now,
Lena.
Lena, be nice.
I liked her.
She's not one of my favorite teachers.
Okay. All right. So now, how?
I
She
learned.
never smiled.
She did though.
She
I listened to
For the ones who have a notion deep inside.
Oh,
She's
she's smiling. That's why they say Cipernacci.
I know that one. Listen, it's my quote. For the ones who have a notion deep inside, that it ain't no
I
sin
thought it said
to
ocean.
be glad you're alive. You have to, whether you're sitting in a math class, and I'm perfectly honest, math doesn't always have the most interesting things.
It's so annoying. My brain hurts.
You make me feel so good. Listen, when I was in high school, my wrestling coach was also my bio teacher. And one day, a kid turned around and said something in class like, I'm bored. And I will never forget his answer. It was brilliant. He said the following: boredom is an insult to oneself. And I said, wow,
How old was this?
he's right. This was a teacher.
Oh.
I said, he's right. Because if you're bored, possibly you're bored because the material isn't the most stimulating thing. But maybe you're bored because you're the problem. Maybe you're bored because you can't find anything useful in it. Not that the useful stuff's not there.
Well, regardless
It's
of that,
just you're
it's still
not finding it.
boring.
What's that?
Regardless of that, it's still. I've accepted that I'm the problem. I'm just saying it's still boring.
Remove the problem.
No, but you see, here's the thing. You are outstanding at finding something to think about
Remove the
in
problem.
everything. It's your greatest gift.
But like, what if?
All right, Spencer, I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to get you. Attention, por favor. Now, here's the thing. I said that mathematicians are brilliant, and I said mathematicians are lazy. So they don't want to go through all the trouble of setting up that graph and graphing the two lines and finding the point. So they're not going to always solve it graphically. They could solve it algebraically. And today we learned the elimination technique.
We did that last year.
That's right. If you look right here,
This was so easy.
what you see is that the bees pair up and, hey, stop. I'm great you remember this, but I want to emphasize a couple of points for your memory, okay? Listen, you must, if you're going to use this elimination technique, you must make sure you have the same number of one of the variables. Clearly, the A's are different, so I look at the B's. Are the B's different? Yes. In terms of, I'm sorry, are the B's the same? Yeah, they have the same number of B's. Now, it's also very important, you can work around this, but have you noticed, back when we did those subtracting polynomial questions, that when you subtract multiple things at the same time, vertically, there tends to be a greater chance of error? So we don't want to subtract, we want to add. And the only way to add is to make sure that these signs are opposite. Okay? So, as soon as these signs are opposite each other, we're good to go. What's 3a plus 1a? 4a. Die, they add up to nothing. Equals 12. Then I divide by 4. A is 3. Am I done?
No.
No. The reason I'm not done is because how many variables are in this problem? 2. How many did I find? 1. So now I can rewrite either equation. Which one do you think is easier? Everybody? The bottom. So A plus B is 4. And then I substitute the 3 in for A because that's what it says it is. 3 plus B is 4 minus the 3. B is 1. So A is 3 and B is 1 is the solution to the problem. Okay? Any questions? All right. Now, I don't know how much of this kind Miss Antonacci did with you, but the next problem looks like this. And what do you notice in this problem that's different?
Nothing.
Lipstick.
There's nothing that you can cancel out because they're all different values.
Right, there's nothing that matches up. So nothing can cancel out right away. So it becomes incumbent upon you to treat this somewhat like you would treat least common denominators. Now you can eliminate either variable, x or y, but as I look at this, do you see how the y's have opposite signs? So that leads me to want to, unless something is different somewhere else, it makes me want to get rid of the y's. So what I'm going to do, if my denominators in fractions were 5 and 2, what would be the common denominator? Answer? 10. If you have a hard time with common denominators, you can just say, I'm going to multiply the top one by the bottom one in front of the y, namely the 2, and the bottom one by the top one in front of the y, namely the 5. Now, that's not always the shortest way, but it always works. So I'm going to multiply the top one by 2 and the bottom one by 5. And that gives me 4x plus 10y equals -2. And it's extremely important that you distribute to everything. What word did I just say?
Everything.
That wasn't said well enough. What word did I say?
Everything.
Very important, both sides of the equation. Otherwise, you will get it wrong, and that's a common mistake in this. Next, I distribute the 5 to all 3 terms to everything. 15x minus 10y equals 40. Now, notice the y's. What do you see? They're paired up, right? Die. 19x is 38. Divide by 19. Hey, what'd that be?
X equals 2.
Very good. That's called math in the hood. Now, what'd that be? X equals 2. Rewrite either equation. I'll do the top one.
Great John wrong.
Voting for president, right, AJ?
No.
Woo!
Oh, no, I know. I'm just making AJ feel better because he got whooped. Now.
You necked me yesterday. That wasn't even a neck. You just slapped the back of my head.
You ain't seen nothing yet, buddy. All right, 4
Oh, I feel valued.
plus 5y equals -1.
Axe to his dad.
You're dealing with a guy who named all of his animals after the show NCIS. If you think you're not getting smacked in the back of the
The guy
head.
who named his guy
Die.
You also made your dad chase you around.
Hey,
Perfect, Anthony. Anthony's going to teach class for me one day. Y is equal to -1. Hey, I got a question. If you graph these two lines, what coordinates would they meet at?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
I need to graph.
2, 1.
2, -1,
2,
right?
-1.
Yeah, 2, -1. It's XY.
Yeah, but
Isn't that how we write a coordinate? Told you do. You got to get a Gibbs slap now. All right. 2, -1 is the correct answer. Listen, on Monday, we're going to do the same lesson again with a couple more examples to get you better at it. Janelle. Hey, hold it. I can't hear a word Janelle's saying. I've been married 30 years. It just doesn't work anymore. Go ahead.
When you check the top coordinate,
both X and Y in both. We're gonna do checks on Monday. Oh, does it say check? All you gotta do is rewrite each equation, plug in the X and the Y, just like you did on the practice one before. This is Y, this is X. You plug in an X here. 2 times 2 plus 5 times -1 equals -1. And then you do the same thing here and make sure that they work. Yep. Jordy, you doing all right today? Astro, yes. No, I don't want to presume. So we'll leave them, and then I will, what's the card? We'll ask Mr. Golden, and then I'll give you my keys as a pass.
I turned him off, so that way they can.
Yeah, don't waste the time. Nice work. Have fun, guys. Enjoy. Miss Rafferty, did you see your sloppy Google?
Yeah.
All right. You ready for that on Monday?
Because I just wasn't sure, like, which sign to do.
Make sense now?